Hello, everyone. My name is Tina, and today I'm going to be talking about how to get your dream job in the United Kingdom. And dream job means different things to different people. Um, Let me start with myself. I'm doing what I love to do right now, but not in a paid job. But the thing is, before I finished my master's degree, I got a job, and I'm going to tell you my journey on how I got the job so that you can also take lessons from it and adapt it to getting your own dream job. I've done two master's degree in the UK. I did my first master's in 2011, 2012. And while I was doing my master's, I volunteered a lot. And I did my first master's degree in the University of East Anglia, Norwich. In March 2012, they were doing what they call Norwich and Norfolk Festival, and I volunteered. I've always volunteered while I was in Nigeria. I was a worker in church. I did a lot of charity work with different organizations as well. But this time around, I volunteered in my city. And this volunteering position opened ways for me to meet different people. And obviously, because I did this job, I also updated it in my CV. So by the time I was applying for a job in April, I think the only job I applied for, I actually got it. It was a job in communications. I have a background in communication. One of the discussion during the interview was about my role as a volunteer. So that was when I realized that volunteering in the UK in different roles can actually bolster your ability to get a job in the UK. This is because here in this country, they value when you actively add value to their community, to their society. And even while volunteering, you get to understand a bit of their culture, and it will also help you to apply for jobs appropriately. Most migrants that, especially those that came in through studies, they just apply for jobs or they try to apply for jobs the way they've always been applying for jobs in their country. And one thing many of us fail to realize is there are different cultures in different countries. The way we apply for a job in Nigeria, for example, that will get the job will be different from the way we will apply for a job in the UK and will get the job. So there's always like a bit of dichotomy there. So one strategy I will advise for you to get your dream job is to work in that dream job role in a charity organization. It could be once a week or once in 2 weeks that you pop up in the location while you are studying so that you would have already gained some knowledge of your field and what is required of you through the charity organization, through networking with other people to get your dream job. And then the second thing is, if you are looking to work in maybe cybersecurity, for example, look for associations or institutions or corporate bodies that are for people that are cybersecurity experts. Join them. It might cost you up to £100 a year, but the information you will get, the trainings you will get, the feedback you will get, the referrals you will get from those associations will go a long way into helping you to get the right job. Because the person you may meet in your next event may actually end up being the person you may meet in your next event may actually be someone that is looking to employ you or someone that is an HR in your industry and will be able to help you get the job. So membership and industry networking is key to landing your dream job. The third approach I would advise is for you to apply for a few number of jobs part time. Don't do general job application, sending CV sporadically without it's just like when you are sending CVs out to many jobs simultaneously without actually looking at what they require of you. It's just like you shooting sporadically without aiming your gun at your target. you will most likely miss. Even if you shoot 100 bullets, you will most likely meet. There may be less chance for you to achieve your goal than you taking one aim at your target and shooting. So I'll give a typical example. I've always loved volunteering. I've always loved to work in the charity sector. That was the reason why I did my first master's in international relations and development studies. So when I looked at different roles in charity organizations, I realized I love to advise, and I have background and expertise in media communication and other areas, and also in business management. Not academically for business management, but I've had a business for the past 9 years. So I decided I would rather commit my time to being a trustee in a charity organization. I applied for different roles and I got a role to be a trustee and vice chair in media communications in a charity organization in the UK. In fact, the charity organization is not even in my city. It is in Buckinghamshire and I live in Norwich. But we do majorly virtual meetings. So that was how I was able to get the job. I tailored my CV to the job role and my cover letter reflected how I am able to bring my value to the job. So one thing is to tailor your CV to a role, and the second thing is to write a cover letter that shows your strength and shows that if they actually don't employ you, they're going to miss out. I know we talk about minority issues and also maybe people being overlooked, but oftentimes, if they can read a lot to your value and they see that other people, regardless of their ethnicity, do not match you, they would rather have you on board, because most of the time it is better to have an excellent candidate regardless of their background on board than to have someone that is like everybody. And the question is, what makes you different? So let me give another example. I have a neighbor from Nigeria who is also a friend. He came to the UK in 2022 for his master's degree in sciences. And before he finished school, he got an opportunity to work somewhere. In this role, he actually enjoyed the job, but then the company do not sponsor. They don't even know much about license to sponsor or COS. It's a British company. What do you expect? Maybe they've not even applied. They've not even had to employ a foreigner before. But guess what? While he was in the company, he showed the value that he could add. He worked excellently well. They were so impressed that they started looking for how to retain this guy. And because they don't even know much about COS, he said they shouldn't worry, that will help them to figure it out. He did his own research, he worked with the company, they got a license to sponsor him, and now he is on COS. He's on skilled work visa. And this was a company that they never even had the license to sponsor someone before. But because they saw the value of this guy, he was able to get sponsored and he's still working in the UK. Now, so he moved right from student visa to skilled work visa. I didn't even have to do post-study work visa. So what I'm saying is, it is good for you to look for your dream job. In fact, the first step to getting your dream job is to know exactly what you want. What is your dream job? What are the skills that you have that will help you to get the dream job? If you do not have those skills, then you need to map out a plan on how to gain those skills so that by the time you start applying for the jobs, you will be a superior candidate for them to employ. Okay. Um, Oftentimes we always expect magic, and because some of us are Christians, we always assume that once we prayed, it will just work out well. Oftentimes, when we pray, God gives us idea on how to strategically position ourselves. And one thing I would say is, I'm doing this session because I believe I'm in a position to advise on how to get your dream job. I wanted to volunteer in a charity organization as a trustee, and I got that role because I showed the employers, I showed the people that were on the interview panel, and I showed the people that read my CV that I am a superior candidate. And that was because I tailored my CV to the job role. I didn't just send them a general CV that was looking confusing to them. And in my cover letter, I highlighted everything they said they needed from me, and I showed them how I met and exceeded those things that they need from me. So one thing I would like to advise is, when you decide what your dream job is, look for what they require of you, make sure you meet and exceed it, and then apply to one of a few jobs per time. Don't apply to multiple jobs per time, so that they can see that you are really what they need. And that is all for today's session. It's just a 10-minute session. Next week we'll be doing longer sessions, and that one will be on Zoom. So have a wonderful day. God bless. Bye.